When we talk about mama, people be at the new like they never heard about mama before. They act like, who's this female deity you're speaking of? This Ahma.
Wow.
I'm talking about HaWah. Yeah. Your breath of security. Let me adjust my fireplace. This gonna get good to us. Shabbat Shalom. I can't stop talking about my mama, my Ahma. Because our Ahma got it going on. Our Ahma is the breath. You don't get that breath lightly, and you don't take that breath in vain, right? We keep the code with KTC. Christianity made you niggas forget about mama. Mama's ways, mama's laws. We start speaking about it. The Christolites, the Christian Israelites, the Yahweh, they still can't compute mama. But yet they pray for wisdom. But what are you praying for? The same thing Solomon was praying for. Wisdom. Ahma. Why connect with your mama? Other than the indigenous truth of it all, your framer of it all, who puts the ingredients together. You can have all the ingredients, but it don't mean you know how to put it together. Our Father is our Wah, which is our vibration, our foundation. In Hebrew, the Wah is the tent peg to secure the tent. It's the security going into the soil, right? The mama, Mother Earth. That Ahma is the life. Your breath, man. Your ruach. So I can't stop talking about mama, to make sure, all my nagas, even in the back of the classroom, can truly understand the vibration of the framer and the shaper. That your father is not alone. That your mother has always been by your father's side. That she has pleased your father from the very beginning. And that it is one drop, one connection, one unity, the framer and the shaper. Ahma Abba. That's the polarity, that's the charge. We're charged up around here. Shabbat Shalom. Let's get it. Proverbs 2. My son, if thou wilt receive my words and lay up my commandments with thee, so that thou make thine ear attend unto wisdom, and thy heart incline to discernment. If you call for understanding and lift up your voice for discernment, if you seek her as silver and search for her as for hidden treasures. Are you seeking mama like you would a treasure that's hidden, a treasure of silver, a treasure of gold, a treasure of rubies? Do you understand the words that's coming out of my mouth? Do you seek your Ahma? Or you keep saying, nah, My father's just by himself, walking to and fro on the firmament. We're in Proverbs chapter 2. Listen up, because it's going to get better with time. This stops you from looping, into some, strategic design to keep you off balance, without wisdom, literally without wisdom. But what is wisdom? Who is wisdom? What is this Shekinah? What is Khalifa drawn on? Sheba drawn on? Like, what image are our high Amazon queens in? The father or the mother, right? Queen Sheba coming around, impressing Solomon. I mean, what frequency was her vibration in? Khalifa, Miriam, Deborah, Ruth, Rachel. I mean, Sarah. These high queens, Lady Hannah. You need to know these sisters you love. Man, these are the images of Ahma, the images of Mama. They get it from their mama. Let's go. If you seek her as silver and search for her as for a hidden treasure, then shall thou understand the fear of HaWah. What does it mean to understand the fear of HaWah? You have to know something in order to fear it. Many people fear what they don't know, but it's when you really know something is, that real thing, you know what I'm saying? That reality that you gotta really respect it. Other than that, it's an illusion. But with HaWah, to fear your father, to fear your mother, it's the same as a parent. You know what I mean? It's the respect. It's the respect that they are getting on your hind bone about. You know what I'm saying? They want to make sure you respect the discipline. They want to make sure you respect the authority, or else you're just going to be running rampant. But like the scripts say, hey, train them up while they're young. To respect HaWah. That's when you understand HaWah. To seek her as silver and search for her as hidden treasures, you will understand the respect of the Creator. And in respecting the Creator, you damn sure gonna make sure you're on point. The Creator will strike fear in your heart if the Creator has to. Ahma, Abba. Mama will strike fear in your heart when you talk that mem sauce. That water will rise on you, man. Boy, I tell you. You said, I thought the water was cool. For HaWah gives wisdom.
Wow.
Solomon's praying to Abba to have the connection with Ahma. You don't just, go straight and get the connection with Ahma. I mean, it has to be granted to you. That breath for your security. It has to be granted. You have to be accepted. Even mama says she's going to come at you crooked first to make sure you KTC, make sure you keeping the code. You're going to be proven. But only HaWah, only your shaper can give you access to your framer, man. Solomon has to pray for it. It's the greatest treasure. It's the greatest gift. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You got to earn that. You got to be proven. Let's get back to verse 5. Then shalt thou understand the fear or the respect or the obedience of HaWah, and find the knowledge of HaWah. For HaWah gives wisdom, out of his mouth comes knowledge and discernment. So you're specifically talking to Shaper, who's giving you that breath, who's allowing you to even tap into your mama. And out of his mouth comes knowledge and discernment. He lays up sound wisdom for the upright. He is a shield to them that walks in integrity, that he may guard the path of justice and preserve the way of his godly ones. Then shall you understand righteousness and justice and equity, every good path. For wisdom shall enter into your heart. Now what? Let's go. Now you popping off with Ahma in your heart bone. The law's now written in your heart, right? Let's go. And knowledge shall be pleasant unto your soul. My naga, this is Drop Nation. With this drop being pleasant in our Ruach, waking up out that Ruach Tardema, popping off, bumping tribe up music. Shout out to Five Eyes, ma. Lego. For wisdom shall enter into your heart bone, and knowledge shall be pleasant unto your soul. Discretion shall watch over thee, discernment shall guard thee, to deliver thee from the way of evil, from the men that speak forward things, who leave the paths of uprightness, to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil, and delight in the forwardness of evil, who are crooked in their ways, and perverse in their path. To deliver you from the strange woman, even the alien woman that makes smooth her words, that forsakes HaWah of her youth, and forgets the covenant of her power. That's why she's alien, because she has forsaken her power. Oh, man. Nah, man. He over here trying to stop our fire. But my nugget, we're going to keep the fire burning. Let's go, man. Keep the fire burning. Verse 17, that forsakes HaWah of her youth and forgets the covenant that made her alien. For her house sinks down unto death, and her paths unto the shades. None that go into her return, neither do they attain unto the path of life, that thou may walk in the way of good men, and keep the path of the righteous. For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the wholehearted shall remain in it. But the wicked shall be cut off from the land, and plucked up out of it. My son, forget not my teaching, but let thy heart keep my commandments. KTC, for length of days and years of life and peace will they add to you. More years, more shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Let not kindness and truth forsake you. Bind them about your neck. Write them about the table of your heart. So shall thou find grace and good favor in the sight of HaWah and man. Trust in HaWah with all your heart and lean not upon your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct thy path. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear or obey HaWah and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. Honor HaWah with your substance, with the first fruits of all your increase. So shall your barns be filled with plenty. Come on, man. This is the code we're talking about. You want your barns to be filled? Honor the Creator. Honor HaWah. And thy vats shall overflow with new wine. My son, despise not the chastening of HaWah, neither spurn thou his correction. For whom HaWah loves, he corrects, even as a father the son, in whom he delights. Happy is the man that finds wisdom. Ahma, we popping off. And the man that obtains understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies. Why do you seek HaWah? I mean, that puts that on a whole new flow. Hosea 3. Seek HaWah. What does it mean to seek HaWah, right? You KTC. You keep the code. You keep the commandments. But you're seeking. You're searching. Proverbs 3. Happy is the man that finds her. You're seeking. Will you find her? And the man that obtains understanding, for the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all things that canst desire are not to be compared unto her. Length of days is her right hand, and her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. You want that Shalom, Shabbatah, seek HaWah. Because man, when you got your mama, you got your father, you got your security, you got your foundation, you got your breath, you got your secure breath, you got your foundational revelation. Hey man, he popping off. Mama's always been, side by side with our Father.
Wow.
In the beginning is Barashith. Barashith is with wisdom, with Ahma, I created. We're not bringing in nothing unfamiliar here. We're bringing in the very beginning. Length of days is her right hand. Her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life. HaWah. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is every one that holds her fast. HaWah by wisdom founded the earth. What? When you talk creator, when you talk creation, you can't talk that without talking wisdom. Who's there from the beginning? The Christians changed this to JC now. They're at the right hand of his father. Where's mama? Where's mama? Verse 19, Proverbs 3. The Creator by wisdom founded the earth. With wisdom, with Ahma, founded the earth. You don't got earth without mama. And aren't we talking about the creator of the earth? You don't have creation without your mama. By wisdom, HaWah founded the earth. Wah used Ha to found the earth. That's why we have HaWah. Khan. We're talking about founded the earth. Founded is what? Foundation, establishment. To be, I am that I am. Foundation. What's the Wah in paleo? Security, foundation. So the foundation needed the breath, the revelation to spark off this beautiful Drakan Kwan. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it had to spark off. It needed the ingredients. With wisdom, HaWah founded the earth plane. By understanding, he established the heavens. By his knowledge, the depths were broken up, and the skies dropped down the dew. So, Ahma is wisdom and understanding. Solomon's praying for Ahma. He's praying for wisdom and understanding. We just got that. You know what I'm saying? Our Father has to grant us that wisdom. Our Father has to grant us wisdom to be in our heart. It has to be a gift. It has to be proven. Verse 21, let not my son, let them not depart from your eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion, so that they may be life unto your soul and grace to your neck. Then shalt thou walk in the ways of security, and thou shalt not dash thy foot. Now you shall walk in thy way securely. What is secure in Hebrew? It's the Wah. The sixth letter in the paleo is Wah. Secure. Foundation. Hook. Secure. So now you got the security. Why? So shall your life be unto your soul, your ruach, and grace to your neck. Then shall thou walk in thy way securely. Now you got HaWah, you got secure breath. And thou shalt not dash thy foot when thou liest down. Thou shalt not be afraid. Thou shalt lie down, and thou shalt sleep. Sleep shall be sweet. Be not afraid of sudden terror, neither of destruction of the wicked when it comes. We over here tripping on the tenderoni. Be not afraid of sudden terror, HaWah says. Neither of the destruction of the wicked. Let it pop off, man. When it comes, for HaWah will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being caught. Withhold not good from him to whom it is due. Somebody deserves good, give them that good. Give them that baruch. When it is in the power of your hand to do it, say not unto your neighbor, go and come again, and tomorrow I will give. When thou has it by you, when you already got it, why are you telling them to come back later? Let's go. Devise not evil against your neighbor, man. He's speaking to the tribe. The tribe going against each other. Devise not evil against your neighbor. You're sitting back with the master plan of destruction. Seeing he dwells securely by you, strive not with the man without cause. If he has done thee no harm, envy thou not the man of violence, and choose none of his ways, for the perverse is an abomination to HaWah, but his counsel is with the upright. The curse of the wicked is in the house of the wicked. But the blessed, that Baruch, the habitation of the righteous. HaWah Baruch's the habitation of the righteous. If it concerns the scorners, he scorns them. But unto the humble he gives grace. The wise shall inherit honor, but as for the fools, they carry away shame. Yeah, man, mama's been there, you know. Mama's always been there. You know, I always think about this shield. This Andrews, this Roos coat of arms, you know. And when you look at the motto on the shield, Victrix Fortuna Sapientia, wisdom is the conqueror of fortune. And ain't we just getting that? Let's get it back here. Verse 15, we're in Proverbs 3. She is more precious than rubies, and all things that thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. Length of days is at her right hand, and in her left hand are riches and honor. Wisdom is the conqueror of fortune. In her left hand are riches. Wisdom is the conqueror of fortune. We're just talking about the lost tribes of Israel. Huh? I can't make this stuff up, man. Mama's been there from the top. I love this PDF, Wisdom of Solomon, man. Always yapa to dig on it. Let's get it in chapter 3. Yeah, man, I forgot how cold this drop is, man. I just want to read all of it, man. I mean, chapter 4, chapter 2, you know, just getting back at the top. For wisdom is a spirit who loves man, and she would not hold a blasphemer guiltless for his lips. Verse 4, because wisdom, let's get it bigger. Wisdom, mama, will not enter into the soul that devises evil, man. Again, just don't be plotting against your neighbor, man. Nor dwell in a body that is enslaved by sin. You ain't KTC, you don't got no mama. Back to the top, we're in the wisdom of Solomon. Didn't he pray for mama? Didn't he pray for mama? Love righteousness, all you who are judges of the earth. Think of HaWah with a good mind. Seek him, right? Hosea 3, seek HaWah in singleness of heart, because he is found by those who don't put him to the test, and is manifested to those who trust him. For crooked thoughts separate from HaWah. His power convicts when it is tested, and exposes the foolish, because wisdom will not enter into a soul that devises evil. So you might think, I got all this wisdom, but if you're planning evil or plotting evil and you have some evil intention, wicked intention, that ain't KTC. Whatever your plan is, it ain't gonna succeed, because you ain't gonna have the ingredients or the know how to put them ingredients together enough. You know what I'm saying? Mama's not gonna be rocking with you. You will get caught up in your own, trap, your own snare. especially if you are enslaved by your own covetousness, false witnessing, you know what I'm saying, murdering, thieving, power before your power, no Shabbat keeping, you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no way mama's rocking with you, man. Ain't no way. For a holy spirit of discipline will flee deceit and will depart from thoughts that are without understanding and will be ashamed when unrighteousness has come in. For wisdom, Ahma, is a spirit who loves man, and she would not hold a blasphemer guiltless for his lips, because HaWah is witness of his inmost self, and is a true overseer of his heart, and a hearer of his tongue. Because the spirit of HaWah has filled the world, and that which holds all things together knows that it said, therefore no one who utters unrighteous things will be unseen, neither with justice when it convicts pass him by. Don't bear false witness. Remember the importance of the things you saying, things you're uttering. No secret utterance will go on its way void, and a lying mouth destroys the soul. You wonder what happened to your charge? It's that lying mouth, man. It's that false witnessing. It's all that little wing wham you're uttering to yourself and others. It's not going to go void. You're going to have to pay up for that. This tongue, keep your tongue from slander. All that slander you're doing, you think no one's listening. You think, hey, man, you're talking about slandering your brothers and sisters, slandering your tribe. We're talking about beware of unprofitable murmuring, talking all day on the phone, on Zoom, on whatever you, on social media, whatever you're doing. Like, come on, man. It's unprofitable. I'm just connecting it with you, because a jealous ear listens to all things, and the noise of murmurings is not hidden. But let's go. Yeah, man. And just to my noggins, you know what I'm saying, that you see all this stuff happening, and you might feel like, where's the hope? What's going to happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, is my life truly in danger? Let's go. For the dismount. For he created all things that they might have being. The generative powers of the world are wholesome, and there is no poison of destruction in them, nor has Hades royal dominion upon this earth. For righteousness is immortal, but ungodly men by their hands and their words summon death. Death is summoned by the ungodly, which is what? Out of code. Deeming him a friend, they pinned away. So now you think by default you're born to die. You fell into their mind, their loop of death. Everybody dies, right? Wrong, man. There ain't no confirmation without any, you know what I'm saying, absolute facto, that everyone that has ever been born has actually died. Whether they're like Moshe still had his life force, you know what I'm saying, like getting caught up in the whirlwinds like Ezekiel and then, you know what I'm saying, like, there's many stories about tribes that are just disappearing, right? But the whole con, where did they go? Like, did they have a covenant with death? Is it something that must happen, or is death being summoned by the ungodly or the out of code behavior, deeming him a friend? Now you're a friend to death. They made a covenant with death by their unrighteousness, because righteousness is immortal. But they made a covenant with him, who? Death, the ungodly, because they are worthy to belong with him. For they say within themselves, without sound reason, our life is short, sorrowful, there is no healing when a man comes to his end, and no one has ever known who was released from Hades because we were born by mere chance. Big Bang Theory. And hereafter we will be as though we had never been. We only live once, right? That's what you hear. Our name will be forgotten in time. Come, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that exist. Let's use the creation earnestly as in our youth. You only live once, bro. Sound familiar? Let us fill ourselves with wine. Let's just, pop off, man, because you only live once, bro. Let none of us go without his share of proud revelry. Let's just go, man. Let's oppress the poor. Don't spare the widow, nor the gray-haired man. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of HaWah, and no torment will touch them.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Going back to chapter 2 in the Wisdom of Solomon, thus they reasoned and they were led astray, for their wickedness blinded them, and they didn't know the mysteries of HaWah. Neither did they hope for wages of holiness, nor did they discern that there is a prize for a blameless soul. Because HaWah created man for incorruption and made him an image of his own everlastingness, but death entered the world by the envy of the devil. Who's the devil? Who's the white? And those who belong to him experience it, man. Only in this hijacked city. That's why I said before, only to the unwise do they seem to die. So they made a covenant, with something that, never was even intended for them to experience. In the eyes of the foolish, they seem to have died. But the souls of the righteous are in the hands of HaWah. No torment will touch them. But in the eyes of the foolish, they seemed to have died. Their departure was considered a disaster. Who's the Ho-Ho-Khan? And their travel away from us ruined. But they are in peace. They're in Shalom. They did not die. Only to the foolish did they seem to die. Are we fools? For even if in the sight of man they are punished, my noggin, Deuteronomy 28, their hope is full of immortality, having borne a little chastening, they will receive great good. Now everyone knows these noggins about to pop off in the Shalom, because HaWah has tested them. But these other nations, man, y'all ain't gonna be able to survive what's happening coming your way. I don't know if you're gonna survive this test, man. You see how we got it, and HaWah loves us. How you think it's gonna happen, man, with y'all? Man, y'all better choose up. That's the best hope you got. Keep the code, man. That's all I can tell you. Anybody else, and all I can tell ourselves is to keep the code. But HaWah tested them and found them worthy of himself. He tested them like gold in the furnace, and he accepted them as a whole burnt offering. You were sacrificed. Not JC on the cross. You were put on the cross. You were put in the furnace. You were made a burnt offering. American Holocaust. But remember, only to the foolish did they seem to have died. Their departure was considered as a disaster, and the travel away from us ruin. But reality season, they're in peace. They're in Shalom. You're not foolish, are you? You think they died? Maybe in the sight of men, they are punished. But do you have the sight of men? Or do you have a 360 dragonfly perspective? Are you a fool? Or do you know that peace is your inheritance? And with your peace comes your land. With your land comes, everything you need to be the head and not the tail. Oh, they made us. Boy, do we go through the furnace, right? Halal HaWah, in the time of their visitation, they will shine. You ready to shine, Jacan? They will run back and forth like sparks amongst stubble. You ready to spark off, my naga? They will judge nations and have dominions over peoples. HaWah will reign over them forever. Those who trust him will understand truth. The faithful will live with him in love, because grace and mercy are with his chosen ones. But the ungodly will be punished even as their reasoning deserves. Those who neglected righteousness will and revolted from HaWah, for he who despised wisdom and discipline is miserable. You despise Ahma? You despise Abba? Their hope is void and their toils unprofitable. Their works are useless. Their wives are foolish and their children are wicked. Their descendants are cursed. For the barren woman who is undefiled is happy. She who has not conceived in transgression, she will have fruit when HaWah examines souls. So is the eunuch who has done no lawless deed with his hands, nor imagined wicked things against HaWah. For a precious gift will be given to him for his faithfulness, and a delightful inheritance in HaWah's sanctuary. For good labors have fruit of great renown. The root of understanding can't fail. The children of adulterers will not come to maturity. The seed of the unlawful union will vanish away. For if they live long, they will not be esteemed, and in the end, their old age will be without honor. If they die young, they will have no hope, nor consolation in the day of judgment. For the end of the unrighteous generation is always grievous. Oh man, we just talking about Ahma's seasoning, man. Hey, hi to the bro, Kwame, man, getting it, sprinkling a little reality in Hijackville, man. And, we just talking about Ahma's cooking, man. We talking about Ahma's cooking, man. And let's just get, man, so much I want to get, just getting into the wisdom of Solomon. Talking about mama. I love this part right here. Let's get it in chapter 7, verse 17. For he himself gave me an unerring knowledge of the things that are, to the structure of the universe and the operation of the elements. So he had all the drop. The beginning, end, and middle of times. The alterations of solstices, changes of seasons, the circuits of years, positioning of stars, the natures of living creatures, and the ragings of wild beasts, the violence of winds, and the thoughts of men, the diversity of plants, and the virtues of roots, all things that are either secret or manifest, I learned, for wisdom that is the architect of all things taught me. Whoa! He's calling wisdom, Ahma, the architect of all things. So if you don't see your framer, shaper connection, remember in the Mayan Papuva, they call Mama the framer, and they say that she has the ingredients, Halal HaWah, to put a fine meal together. That's an architect that can build. And your father is the shaper that literally molds and shapes and molds a substance that, literally just like clay. You know what I mean? Like when you think about frequency, when you think about sound, right? What the word Hawa creates, this sound is a frequency. This frequency is what molds and shapes everything. And once you have that secure frequency, then you're ready to, have this uh, architecture. Now you're ready to build, Manaki. But you can't build no kingdom without Mama. Mama's the architect. For there is in her spirit that is quick to understand, holy, unique, manifold, subtle, freely moving, clear in utterance, unpolluted, distinct, invulnerable, loving what is good, king, unhindered, beneficent, loving towards man, steadfast, sure, free from care, all powerful, all surveying, and penetrating through all spirits that are quick to understand, pure, most subtle. For wisdom is more mobile than any motion. Talk on, Mama. Let's get it for the dismount. Yes, she pervades and penetrates all things by reason of her purity, for she is a breath. HaWah. For she is a breath. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth letter of the paleo is a breath, letting you know that it's not man, it's woman, it's Mama with her arms raised up. She got that revelation. She got that look. She got that breath. You just walk through the door, the portal. You just walked, right? You gom like a camel walk, like a camel. You walk. But first, you had to have a plan, your family plan, your tribal plan. And without your strong power, you don't have your family. So first comes the Aleph or El, the strong power, the leader that goes into the house, that gets you gathering and walking to get through that entrance, that doorway, that portal, so you can get to your breath. Ahma, the architect of all things, taught me. Let's go. Verse 25, Wisdom of Solomon. She is a breath of the power of Hawa. She is a breath, letting you know that this breath is Mama. And the Wah, W-A-W-W-A-H, Wah is the tent peg, securing the tent. Remember, I spread out the Shamayim like a tent. I spread it out like a tent. Letting you know what the earth plane is looking like a tent. You got a firmament. And you need a tent peg to secure. You need a foundation. You need security. You need to be hooked in. You need to get that added security. that added foundation. Any security can only add to your foundation. And the foundation adds to your security. And with that, you can have a revelation with Mama, with her hands up. When you walk through the door, Big Mama right there to greet you, right through the door. Making sure you KTC, so you got your security. It goes hand in hand. And Shabbat Shalom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The seventh letter is Zon, or Zion, is your food, your cut off, cut off day, your nourishment. And that's why you cut the day off, to rest, be nourished. That's your food. That's your weapon. That's your Zon, Z-A-N, Zon, not Zion, Zon. But you don't get your Zon without your HaWah. Ha, hey. They put the AH sound. Look. Reveal. Revelation. Wow. So the breath is inhale. That inhale is the feminine, is your mama, is your security. Wow. That's when the dragon breathes that fire. They say it sounds like wall. That means wow. Because now you got security, a wall of protection. She is a breath of the power of HaWah, of Wah, or of the security, and a pure emanation of the glory of the Almighty. Therefore, nothing defiled can find entrance into her, for she is a reflection of everlasting light, greater light, my knight, an unspotted mirror of the working of God, or you're talking about the shaper, or you're talking the security. Together you have a secure breath. But you see the importance of mama. So when we talk Ahma Abba, we're not talking about something that Solomon is not, clearly breaking down. We're not talking about something that mama herself is not breaking down. In Proverbs chapter 8, we're about to get for the dismount. Mama's clearly breaking it down. And where else do you got that? Letting you know that, that's one power you're talking about. Ahma Abba is one power, one drop, one vibe, one house, one breath of security. An image of goodness, although she is one, she has power to do all things. Remaining in herself, she renews all things like a dragon, right? Like a dragon, let's go. From generation to generation, passing into holy souls. She makes friends of HaWah and prophets. Passing into holy souls. Where's mama today? Drop Nation. For HaWah loves nothing as much as one who dwells with wisdom. Your father loves nothing more than the Nagas that are rocking with Ahma. That's why we give all praise to our Ahma Abba, to our framer, shaper, to our father and mother, our mother and our father. Because our father loves nothing as much as one who dwells with mama. And it's right there in your picto paleo. As soon as you walk through the door, you got your mama, your breath, and your security. Then you get your cutoff nourishment, your food, which weaponizes you.
Wow.
Wow. She is fairer than the sun and above all the constellations of the stars. She is better than light, for daylight yields to night, but evil does not prevail against wisdom. She reaches from one end to the other with full strength. and orders all things well. I loved her and sought her from my youth. I sought to take her for my bride. I became enamored by her beauty, for she glorifies her noble birth by living with HaWah. The sovereign Lord of all loves her. Talking about the Father, Abba, loves Ahma, for she is initiated into the knowledge of the Father. Now you see, we can talk about it as father and mother as it's being clearly broken down. When they say God, they're speaking like Christianity of the masculine father, but they are separating that from the feminine mama, who is already having a love affair, a love fest with the father. So you can't boot her out all of a sudden. She's not some lesser flow of the Father. This is one drop, you're saying. This is a unity. And she chooses his works. But if riches are desired possession in life, if riches are a desired possession in life, what is richer than wisdom, which makes all things? Which is why the angel's crest says what? Wisdom is the conqueror of fortune. We're talking Israel, Khan. We're talking wisdom of Solomon, Khan. And we're talking being the conqueror of all fortune. Or richer. What is richer than wisdom? What makes all things? And if understanding is effective, who more than wisdom is an architect of the things that exist? Talking creation. Wisdom is an architect. Who more than wisdom is an architect of things that exist? We're talking creation. If a man loves righteousness, the fruits of wisdom's labor are virtues. For she teaches soberness, understanding, righteousness, and courage. There is nothing in life more profitable for people than these. And if anyone longs for wide experience, she shows the things of old and infers the things to come. She understands subtleties of speeches and interpretations of dark sayings. She foresees signs and wonders and issues the seasons and times. Therefore, I determined to take her to live with me, knowing that she is one who would give me good counsel and encourage me in cares and grief. Because of her, I will have glory among multitudes and honor in the sight of elders, though I am young. Yeah, man. We're just talking about that Ahma. We're just talking about Ahma. I will be found keen when I give judgment. I will be admired in the presence of rulers. When I am silent, they will wait for me. When I open my lips, they will heed what I say, because I got Ahma's cooking. If I continue speaking, they will put their hands on their mouths. Because of her, I will have immortality. He ain't talking about making no deal with death. And leave behind eternal memory to those who come after me. I will govern peoples. Nations will be subjected to me. I'm going to be the head, not the tail. Deuteronomy 28:15, 13. Let's go. Dreaded monarchs will fear me when they hear of me. Among the people, I will show myself to be good and courageous in war. When I come into my house, I will find rest. Shalom, for conversion with her has no bitterness. Conversation. Shalak, for conversation with her has no bitterness, and living with her has no pain, but gladness and joy. When I considered these things in myself and thought in my heart how immortality is in kinship, they keep talking about living forever, man. It's in kinship to wisdom, and in her friendship is good delight. And in the labors of her hands is wealth that doesn't fail. Wealth that doesn't fail. Because wisdom is the conqueror of fortune. God. But you gotta be KTC for real, for real. Man, for the dismount, man. For the dismount, man. Look, man. Understanding is her companion and great renown in having fellowship with her words. I went about seeking how to take her to myself. Now I was a clever child and received a good soul, or rather being good, I came into an undefiled body. What does it mean, Solomon? I was a clever child and received a good soul, or rather being good, I came into an undefiled body. But perceiving that I could not otherwise possess wisdom unless my father gave her to me, yes, and to know and understand by whom the grace is given, right? This is the whole point. To know and understand by whom the grace is given. So he pleads with the Lord or his Father and implore him, and with my whole heart I say, O power of my ancestors, power of mercy, who made all things by your word. That word is that vibration, is that shaper, is that security, or that wow. That's going to get you the right hook, the right foundation. But it comes in a vibration. The shaper shapes through vibration. And by your wisdom you formed man. By what? Your wisdom. Ahma is Abba's. Abba's wisdom is Abba's queen. So by your queen, by your woman, by your wisdom, you form man. By the sheath with wisdom. In the beginning, Barashi, Genesis 1, Barashi, in Hebrew, Barashi, with wisdom. By wisdom, you form man, that he should have dominion over the creatures that were made by you, and rule in holiness and righteousness, and execute in uprightness of soul. Give me, mama, give me wisdom, her who sits by you on your thrones. Don't reject me from among your servants, because I am your servant and the son of your handmaid. A weak and short-lived man and with little power to understand judgment and laws. For even a man is perfect among the sons of men. If the wisdom that comes from you is not with him, he will count for nothing. You chose me to be king of your people and judge for your sons and daughters. You gave a command to build a sanctuary on your holy mountain and an altar in the city where you live. A copy of the holy tent. I spread it out like a tent peg. Wow, he's talking aloud. Wow, he's talking to the shaper, right? Asking him for the framer, Khan. A copy of the holy tent. We're talking to the tent peg. We're talking to the security, the tent peg, the wah. Let's go. Framer shaper. A copy of the holy tent. A wah, which you prepared from the beginning. Wisdom is with you and knows your work. Wisdom's always with, mama's always with Abba and was present when you were making the world. More evidence in script that mama was present during the beginning of creation. With mama, HaWah created. With mama, our shaper put that vibration down, and she gave him them ingredients and put that together, man, and mama popped it off and understands what is pleasing in your eyes and what is right according to your code. Send her from the holy heavens and ask her to come from the throne of your glory. We ain't bringing in no female deity when we talk Ahma. We're talking about your breath, man. We're talking about your revelation. We're talking about Big Mama that popped it off from the very, very pop-offness of things. You don't have creation without Big Mama with wisdom. HaWah popped it off. Ask her to come from the glory, from the throne of your glory. Shekinah, that being present with me, she may work and I may learn what pleases you well. For she knows all things and understands, and she will guide me prudently in my actions. She will guard me in her glory. Oh, Solomon's asking Mama to guard him. So my works will be acceptable. I will judge your people righteously, and I will be worthy of my father's throne. Talking about Dawid. And, back to Proverbs for the dismount, Proverbs chapter 8, man. I'm just enjoying the flow. As you can see, I've been talking all day, but I had to get this, man. For my knockers on the spot, I just had to big up Big Mama, And I know that our Father would be pleased to give honor to our mama, because it means so much, to the unity of the reality of things, Proverbs 8, we just got Wisdom of Solomon, chapters like 1 through 4 or 5, something like that. We already got Proverbs 2 and 3. Let's get Proverbs 8 for the dismount. Does wisdom call and understanding put forth her voice? In the top of high places by the way where the paths meet, she stands. Let's go. Besides the gate at the entry of the city, at the coming in at the door, she cried aloud, unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. O you thoughtless, understand prudence. O you fools, be ye of an understanding heart. Hear, for I will speak excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be right things. For my mouth shall utter truth, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing perverse or crooked in them. They are all plain to him that understands, and to the right, and right to him that finds knowledge. Receive my instruction, not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all things desirable are not to be compared unto her. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence. Who's speaking? I, wisdom, is speaking. Where else do you have anybody speaking like the Creator, right? But Mama can do that. Mama gets I'm sure they took a lot more of Mama talking too, but Mama's talking directly from the throne, my naga, from the throne. Pleasing HaWah, honoring our Shaper, our Father, our Abba. I, Mama, wisdom, dwell with prudence and find out knowledge of devices. The fear of HaWah is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way and the forward mouth do I hate. I hate the evil way, Mama's saying. Counsel is mine, sound wisdom. When you talk about, wise counsel and historians, you're talking about being with sound Mama, sound wisdom. I am understanding. Power is mine. Power is mine. Huh? All praise our framer and our shaper. Boy, sister, you better get down with Mama. Power is mine. By me, kings reign. You better get down with Mama. You better get up with Mama. And princes decree justice. By me, princes rule, and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. You better get up with Mama. I love them that love me. Straight up, huh, mama? And those that seek me earnestly shall find me. Riches and honor are mine. Riches and honor are with me. Wisdom is the conqueror of fortune, man. We're talking Israel. We're talking wisdom. Man, I'm trying to tell you. She knows all things and understands. She will guide me prudently in my actions. She will guard me in her glory. This is the wisdom of Solomon. We popping off. This is chapter 9. Back to Proverbs chapter 8 for the dismount. Riches and honor are with me, and enduring riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, fine gold, and my prudence than choice silver. I walk in the ways of righteousness in the midst of the path of justice, that I may cause those that love me to inherit substance, and that I may fill their treasures. HaWah made me as the beginning of his way, or Abba, the shaper, made me as the beginning. There ain't no beginning without the connection between the framer and the shaper. That's the marriage in real time. The first of his works of old. That's why you gotta go directly to the shaper. You gotta go directly to the shaper to even get granted the breath of security. The first of his works of old. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. All right, so Mama was there.
Wow.
Halal HaWah. Mama was there since before the earth, right? First, the very first of his works of old. So this is, you can't even comprehend the works of old. It's before the foundation of the earth, man.
Wow.
Halal HaWah. Just know that when it comes to popping off creation, Mama's there from the very beginning. That's the first order of business that HaWah did, was get married. was tribe up with his queen. Then came all the creation and all this other stuff. But the first order of business from the very beginning was tribing up with his queen. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. Where there were no fountains, abounding with water. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. While as yet he has not made the earth, nor the field, nor the beginning of the dust of the world. When he established the heavens, I was there. What does it mean to establish the heavens? Establish the heavens, that's frequency talk. That's octave on octave on octave on octave. When he set a circle upon the face of the deep, what does that mean? And when he made firm the skies above. When the fountains of the deep showed their might, when he gave to the sea his decree that the water should not transgress his commandment, when he appointed the foundations of the earth, then I was by him as a nursling, and I was daily all delight, playing always before him. Sounds like newlyweds, playing in his habitable earth, and my delights are with the sons of men. That's why Solomon's asking for Ahma, because he knows Ahma is delighted in the sons of men, in the seeds of David, in the seeds of Manasseh and Ephraim and Gad, and the seeds of Benjamin. Now therefore, you children, hearken to me, for happy are they that keep my ways. We're talking mama speaking. Her ways are KTC, just like his ways are KTC. Hear instruction and be wise and refuse it not. Happy is the man that listens to me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my doors. You will be happy if you seek HaWah. For whoever finds me finds life. To live, to be living, is HaWah, is establishment, and obtains favor of HaWah. But he that misses me wrongs his own soul, and they that hate me love death. And we don't make no covenant with death. We connect to the very beginning, because from the beginning, or ever earth was, I was set up from everlasting. All praise our eternal framer and our shaper, so that we may keep the water flowing. We ask our Father to give us more of that mama's seasoning, mama's cooking, to fortify our gates, to increase our prudence, our subtlety, our intelligence, to put the ingredients together to create a fine meal that the whole tribe can eat. We can all eat at HaWah's table. We can all KTC together. And the opening of my lips shall be right things. We're not talking about the spells of destruction. We're talking about what is right coming out the lips, coming out that breath. The opening is the breath, my naga. Because all the words of my mouth are righteousness. And there is nothing perverse or crooked in them. Receive my instruction. Let's go. For what man will know the counsel of HaWah, or who will conceive what HaWah wills? For the thought of mortals are unstable, and our plans are prone to fail. For a corruptible body weighs down his soul, the earthly tent, burdens a mind that is full of cares. We can hardly guess the things that are on the earth, and we find the things that are close at hand with labor. But who has traced out the things that are in the heavens? Who gained knowledge of your counsel, unless you gave wisdom and sent your Holy Spirit from on high. So the Holy Spirit in Christianity is mama. They try to make this, you already know. JC takes all the titles. He's the Holy Spirit. He's at the right hand. He's all these things, right? Your mama's at the right hand. Your mama's that Ruach. Your mama was there from the beginning. You can't supplant your mama no more. You can't supplant King David no more. That JC hijack Isus frequency gotta go. It's game over. It's the fourth wave. It's the fourth chord. We just getting started, man. And they just tuning in. Love to the tribe, man. It was thus that the ways of those who are on the earth were corrected, and the men were taught the things that are pleasing to you. They were saved through wisdom. I mean, you see, wisdom guarded to the end the first formed father of the world. Whoa. Who was created alone, and delivered him out of his own transgression, and gave him strength to rule over all things. But when an unrighteous man fell away from her in his anger, he perished himself in the rage with which he killed his brothers. So we talking about what, Cain and Abel? When for his cause the earth was drowning with the flood, wisdom again saved it, guiding the righteous man's course by a paltry piece of wood. Now we're talking about Noah. It seemed like wisdom has always been there to guide our mothers and our fathers through anything. Mama's always been there. Moreover, when the nations consented together and wickedness had been confounded, wisdom knew the righteous man and preserved him blameless to the Father, and kept him strong when his heart yearned towards his child. While the ungodly were perishing, wisdom delivered a righteous man when he fled from the fire that descended out of the heavens on the 5 cities. The fire that descended out the heavens on the 5 cities. Come on, man. This is Wisdom of Solomon. This was taken out of the 1611 King James Version. They took it out. Let's go. Got too much dry. When they fled from the fire that descended out of heaven on the 5 cities, to whose wickedness a smoking waste still witnesses, and plants bear fruit, fair fruit that doesn't ripen. A disbelieving soul has a memorial, a standing pillar of salt, for having passed wisdom by. Not only were they disabled from recognizing the things which are good, but they are also left behind for their life a monument of their folly, to the end that where they stumbled they might fail even to be unseen. But wisdom delivered those who waited on her out of trouble. When a righteous man was a fugitive from a brother's wrath, wisdom guided him in straight path. She showed him the Father's kingdom. So every time they say God, we got to translate that as Father, since we know we're talking to Mama. And then when she says she showed him, or they say she showed him God's kingdom, then now we're specifically talking about Abba. So she showed him Abba's kingdom and gave him knowledge of holy things. She prospered him in his toils and multiplied the fruits of his labor. When in their covetousness men dealt harshly with him, she stood by him and made him rich. She guarded him from enemies, and she kept him safe from those who lay in wait. Sound like that Dawid flow over his severe conflict. She watches as judge, that he might know that godliness is more powerful than everyone. When a righteous man was sold, wisdom didn't forsake him, but she delivered him from sin, and she went down with him into a dungeon, and in bond she didn't depart from him. We got Moshe in the dungeon. We got Joseph being sold and put in the dungeon until she brought him the scepter of the kingdom and authority over those that dealt like a tyrant with him. Mama brought him the scepter. Mama brought him the scepter. And she also showed those who had mockingly accused him to be false and gave him eternal glory. Don't mock those that mama loves. Do not mock those that mama loves, and do not accuse them falsely. Wisdom delivered a holy people and a blameless seed from a nation of oppressors. She entered into the soul of a servant of HaWah, and she withstood terrible kings and wonders and signs. She rendered to holy men a reward of their toils. She guided them along a marvelous way, and became to them a covering in the daytime and a starry flame through the night. Now we're talking about Moshe and the Exodus. Mama guided them. Pillar of fire, cloud by day. Trakan, Kun, and she became to them a covering in the daytime. What's a cloud? It's a covering. What's the etymology of cloud? You're just talking about anything that's covering you, shading you is a cloud. And a starry flame? Come on, man. Dragon fire by night, man. She brought them over the Red Sea and led them through much water, and she drowned their enemies and cast them from the bottom of the deep. So our Father is letting mama pop off. Mama's taking care of her babies the way mamas do. Daddy don't get in the way when mama's in protection mode, man. You know what I'm saying? Mama got you. Therefore the righteous plundered the ungodly, and they sang praise to your holy name, O HaWah, and extolled one accord your hand that fought for them, because wisdom opened the mouth of the mute and made the tongues of babies to speak clearly. Woo! Wisdom prospered their works in the hand of a holy prophet. In my noggin, you know what I'm saying? You keep on popping off. And know that when you read the Wisdom of Solomon, it's all about how mama has popped off for the tribe. They traveled through a desert without habitation, and they pitched their tents in trackless regions. They withstood enemies and repelled foes. They thirsted and called upon you, and water was given to them out the flinty rock, and healing of their thirst out of the hard stone. For by what things those foes were punished, by these things in their need were benefited. When enemies were troubled with clotted blood, instead of a river's ever-flowing fountain, to rebuke the decree of the slain babies, you gave them abundant water. Behold, all hope, having shown by the thirst which they had suffered, how you punished the adversaries, for when they were tried, although chastened in mercy, they learned how the ungodly were tormented, being judged with wrath, for you tested these as a father, administering them, or admonishing them. Shalak. So you tested them as a father, admonishing them, but you searched out those as a stern king, condemning them. Yes, and whether they were far off or near, they were equally distressed, for a double grief seized them, and groaning at the memory of things past. For when they heard that through their own punishments the others benefited, They recognized HaWah for him who long before was thrown out and exposed. They stopped mocking. They stopped mocking you, my naga, that was thrown out. In the end of what happened, they marveled, having thirsted in another manner than the righteous. But in return for the senseless imaginings of their unrighteousness, wherein they were led astray to worship irrational reptiles, woe,
Wow.
wretched vermin, you set upon them a multitude of irritation or irrational creatures to punish them, okay? That they might learn that by what things a man sins, by these he is punished. Back to the giants, my naga. For your all-powerful hand that created the world out of the formless matter. For the your all-powerful hand, HaWah, that created the world out of formless matter. Created the world out of formless matter. So the matter, like the Papuva, already existed. It was used to create the world. For your all-powerful hand that created the world out of this matter that didn't lack means to send upon the multitude of bears, fierce lions, or newly created unknown wild beasts full of rage, either breathing out a blast of fiery breath. Whoa, let's get that back. Let's get this back for the dismount. I'm having too much fun. I'm out of here, man. For your all-powerful hand that creates the world out of formless matter didn't lack means to send upon them a multitude of bears, fierce lions, or newly created unknown wild beasts full of rage, either breathing out a blast of fiery breath or belching out smoke. So HaWah sent dragons on these people. Dragons on these people. Or flashing dreadful sparks from their eyes. Sparks out their eyes. HaWah sent dragons on the hijack, which had power not only to consume them by their violence, but to destroy them even by the terror of their sight. Yes, and without these they might have fallen by a single breath, being pursued by justice, scattered abroad by the breath of your power. Breath is Ahma, the breath of security, fifth and sixth letter of the Hebrew, before you get to the seventh letter, which is the Zion, Zan, Shabbat, cut off, nourishment, my naga. The breath, the fiery breath, being pursued by justice and scattered abroad by the breath of your power. But you arranged all things by measure, number, and weight, for to be greatly strong is yours at all times. Who could withstand the might of your arm? Because the whole world before you is as a grain in a balance, and as a drop of dew that comes down upon the earth in the morning. But you have mercy on all men, because you have power to do all things, and you overlook the sins of men to the end that they may repent. For you love all things that are, and abhor none of the things which you made. For you never have formed anything if you hated it. How would anything have endured unless you have willed it, or that which was not called by you? How would it have preserved? But you spare all things because they are yours, O sovereign HaWah, you who love the living. And I'm asking you, my naga, to choose up. I'm asking you to choose life, to choose righteousness, the righteousness of Ahma. that speaks only excellent things. The instruction of Ahma, the wisdom which is Ahma, which is better than rubies or any type of treasures of gold. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence and find out knowledge of devices. The respect of HaWah is to hate evil. Because you can't respect HaWah when you love evil. And if you don't respect HaWah, you ain't going to be a code keeper. By me, kings, reigns. It's been a long time without your things, without your stuff, without Ahma. Are you ready to honor your father and your mother again, your frame and your shaper again? Riches and honor are with me. We KTC. Because wisdom is the conqueror of fortune. All praise to HaWah. We did it again, my Naga. Shabbat Shalom to the tribe, to the home team. The Wada for enjoying this wave surf. You know, enjoying the season in Mama's Bend. You know what I'm saying? Sparking off. Making fine meals out of these, these ingredients that are everlasting and ever sparking off. Because you sparking off in real time. Ahma's cooking got us sparking off in real time. Yeah, man. HaWah, HaWah, HaWah. She guards him from his enemies. She kept him safe from those who lay in wait. Ahma's cooking got us, dodging a hijack in real time to withstand the terrible kings and wonders and signs. Ahma's cooking got him guided with a pillar of fire, with dragon fire by night, with a cloud of covering by day. Ahma's cooking got us sparking off. And this is for all the mamas. Because, we know you tapped in. Aquas, we know you tapped in. You know what I mean? It's one thing to, do something without having that ruach, without having mama. But it's another thing when you got mama. When you got mama, the connection's real. The vibration's real. The spark is real. You got mama, you start sparking off around here. Wisdom is with you and knows your works and was present when you were making the world. She will guide me prudently in my actions. She will guard me in her glory. Ahma is sparking off. They were saved through wisdom. This ain't no separate savior. This is framer. This is shaper. One tribe, one vibe. Wisdom guarded to the end. The first formed father of the world, who was created alone. Guarded to the end, man. All praise to HaWah that we can spark off the everlasting, the beginning.
Wow.
HaWah. There ain't no substitute for the instruction, for the wisdom of Ahma. Watching daily at my gates, man. As you watching daily, you checking in, you searching like you searching for the finest silver and gold, waiting at the post of mama's door. Whosoever finds me finds life. I'm just talking to the tribe that's sparking off right now. Halal HaWah. We was talking to the tribe that's sparking off right now. Halal HaWah. Hey, we sparking off right now, my nigga. We sparking off, man. You've been tested like the gold in the furnace and have been accepted as a whole burnt offering. In the time of the visitation, they will shine. You popping off, you sparking off. They will run back and forth like sparks among the stubble. They will judge the nations and have dominion, and HaWah will reign over them forever. Those who trust in him will understand truth. The faithful will live with him in love, man. That's that pure water, because grace and mercy are with his chosen ones. Sounds like supremacy. Hey, hop to the real ones, man. Enjoy y'all Shabbat. And just know that you got, the full wall of protection when you got your mama and you got your father, you got your breath, you got your security, you got one tribe, you got one vibe. Stay up, suit up, choose up.